An objection I sometimes hear about Bitcoin is, what if the grid goes down? What if all power, the internet, what if it all goes down? Bitcoin can't be used then, right? So it's basically worthless. Well, I want to start off by saying it's absolutely true. If the internet, if the power goes down, then absolutely Bitcoin will not work at that point. It requires electricity and the internet. But note that nothing is lost when it comes to Bitcoin if the grid goes down. Once the grid comes back up, Bitcoin just keeps running as always. In fact, if it's not a worldwide grid failure, Bitcoin continues to run. As long as there's at least one or two nodes in the world processing Bitcoin transactions, it's still running. But let's say, for example, everything does go down. We have a worldwide grid failure, or even a very massive local failure, let's say in the United States of America. Well, to be honest, if that happens, all the basic necessities of life go down because they all need the grid. Groceries, heating and cooling, banks. I mean, basically everything needs both electricity and now the internet to even function. The sad reality is if the grid really goes down for a long period of time, most people aren't going to make it. Most people are going to die because there's simply no way for them to survive at that point. So if the grid really does go down for a long time, we won't care if Bitcoin doesn't work. Because honestly, nothing will be working. Your dollars won't work either. But some people say, well, that's why I have gold. Gold would still work. Well, yes, in theory it would, but honestly, it would be highly impractical. It's not very portable, and it's very hard to secure. The fact is, somebody with bigger guns than your guns can just take your gold. So that's not very practical either. So to hone in on Bitcoin as a problem because it wouldn't work if the grid goes down misses the larger point, which is everything goes down. Everything doesn't work, not just Bitcoin, if the grid goes down. The reality is Bitcoin is the best money for today's world. If you want to prepare for worst case scenarios, fine, go ahead and do that. I don't blame you for doing that. But remember, in the vast, vast majority of realistic scenarios, Bitcoin is just fine. In fact, it's not only just fine, but it's a far better form of money than any other form of money out there today.